Hello everyone and welcome. Father's Day was just a little while ago, and my daughter got me this beautiful digital watch that we'll be looking at today for Father's Day. Now, I thought it was such a nice watch that I decided to make a video and share it with my viewers. This guy is a modern smartwatch with all the features that you would expect, plus it also has the look and feel of a much more expensive analog watch. So if you're like me and you appreciate the metal analog watches of yesteryear, then this is one smartwatch that you're going to love. I guess you can call it a retro modern watch. All the conveniences of today with the classy look and feel of years gone by. So if you've been looking for a convenient, affordable smartwatch, but also want to get an expensive looking retro watch, then stick around as I unbox and test this puppy today. Alright guys, so when you unbox this puppy, this is everything you get. So let's talk a little bit about some of the features that this guy has, but before we get started testing this guy, do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. That way you get notified every time I do another product review video, DIY project, or a sale at a big box store where I can help you save even more money. Alright, so this is the 1.43-inch AMOLED display smartwatch from Fosmet, available on Amazon, link in description below. At the time of making this video, this guy retails for $69.99. But they also have a 40% discount coupon on the Amazon page, bringing it down to only around $40. So what do you get included with this guy? Well, you get the watch itself, get the owner's manual, it tells you everything about setting this guy up, maintenance, and so forth. You get 2 wristbands that I'll talk about in a moment. You get a power cable, you get a wristband pin removal tool, and you get some extra pins. Now, the warranty on this guy is 2 years, and this guy comes in either silver or black, and this guy brings 2 wristbands like I mentioned previously. It brings a silicone and a stainless steel wristband, so you can choose elegant look or comfort look. It also brings a tool to be able to remove it whenever you want very easily, and if you break any of the pins, it brings you a bunch of extra ones, so you have nothing to worry about. This watch has a 1.43-inch AMOLED touchscreen display with 500 by 500 pixels for a much sharper image. This watch has a metal alloy body, making it feel very solid. This watch is made from military-grade materials, making it drop, scratch, and impact resistant. I weighed this watch, and it comes out to weigh 2.4 ounces, which feels really solid in the hand. To give you an example, my other smartwatch, this little guy right here, only weighs 1.4 ounces. So from 1.4 to 2.4, a big difference. And that's with the silicone band. That's how I weighed it a moment ago. This guy, if you put the metal band on it, it'll make it much heavier. So if you want a solid feel on your wrist, that's definitely the way to go. This watch is IP68 waterproof and is powered up by a 500 milliamp hour battery that can last anywhere from 5 to 7 days of normal use, and it also has a standby time of 30 to 45 days depending on conditions and so forth. This watch gives you the option to have the display turned off when not in use like most smartwatches, or you can have it look like an analog watch and have the display be always on. Now, I have it set to always on right now, and I have it set to an analog face, but I find that when it goes into a rest mode, it goes to a digital face. Maybe I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't gotten extremely familiar with the watch yet, but that's something I have to look through the instructions and figure that out. But if you press the button, you can see right there, it goes to an analog face. This watch also gives you over 200 faces to choose from, or you can upload your own image if you want to do that. This watch has a full touchscreen like most smartwatches will have, but this watch also has a cool feature where the buttons on the side actually work. So the buttons are not just for looks, they're actually functional. So if you're like rotating through the buttons to do all the menu selections, this guy can do that for you. This watch is compatible with Android and iOS, so you can use this guy with any smartphone that you already have. This little guy has a high-fidelity microphone, so you can take and make calls right from the watch without having to pull out your smartphone. This watch has the latest Bluetooth 5.3, giving you better connectivity and less battery consumption. In fact, with this watch, you can make calls, check messages, get notifications, and many more things. You can also use the built-in AI to help you get more things done with a lot less hassle. This watch is also great for health tracking. It has over 120 sports built into the app, so whether you're running, walking, biking, cycling, or any other sort of sports, you can easily track your heart rate, blood oxygen level, blood pressure, footsteps, and much more with the app built into this watch. So let's take a little closer look at this guy and see how it performs. All right, guys, let's take a little closer look at this watch and get a little bit more acquainted with it. As you see, basically, it is a nice, thick watch. You can see it's a good, thick watch. It's kind of like the old analog watches of yesteryear, which were quite thick and so forth. You see right there, it says smartwatch, and the buttons on the side here do actually have display on there. You see the sport mode right there, and then your selection dial right there, your power on off button right there, lots of different things. And like I said previously, I have it set to the always on mode. And when it goes to a resting state, if it's not moving around, it'll go to that state right there. And you can select to change that in the settings. I just saw that a moment ago. You can go into the settings and change the style. I haven't figured out exactly how to change the style to be something different, but I'm sure I'll get to that eventually. The instructions don't cover every single last little detail of this because a lot of the manual and stuff like that is digital, so I'm going to have to read through every aspect of it. But if you have it in resting mode, it goes like that. If you twist your wrist, it'll change. Or if you click the button, it goes to the analog face. Now, it comes with 3 different faces built in. And see, you can switch through them on the go whenever you want to. You can switch to that spider look, or it has that digital look. So those are the 3 that come built into the watch. Now, through the app, I'll show you in a moment, you can go to a lot of different other ones, but these are the ones that are already preloaded onto the watch itself. Now, if you like the old analog watches, then you'll love this face because that's the style that they used to have. There it goes back to resting mode. Now, one of the things also is that these buttons on the side actually do things. They're not just for looks. That's your power button. That's your sport selection button. They're straight to go to whatever it is you want to do. And this one is basically your regular menu button where you can just select through the different menus, or you can slide side to side. Click on there, bring it back to life, and then you see you can slide side to side and see whatever it is that you want to see and do it that way. That's not a problem. And you see this AMOLED display is really quite good. It's really very, very clear. The camera may not be picking it up 100% because the camera has to focus right and all that kind of stuff. But you see it does a great job. And you see you can add more components to it if you want to have more on there. And all you do is click on there, and then you can have a heck of a lot more things that you can add onto there. So it's totally up to you. You can customize it however you want to have that. But it comes with a few basic ones already put on there. So let's go back over here right to the get-go, and there you go. You start from that, and you can go from here. You can go up and down, and you can also select that has different styles to it. It has like 3 different themes, and you can change the way it is on the theme and the way that it will display it for you. And here we go back to that. There you go on that. You see how that goes. And see the theme on this, you can have it where it goes up and down like this, and you can use the button if you want to do that as well. You see you can go back and forth. Pick the one that you want on there and go from that way. So, and then there's another theme where it rotates around the whole thing, and the whole thing just rotates by you touching it and so forth. So there's many different ways to do it. 3 different themes, pick the one that you like the best. But you see all the different things that you can do with it, the training and all that kind of stuff takes you right to it. Go to the settings, go to the music, whatever you want to do. It gives you a lot of flexibility. SOS, a toolbox on there, the settings and so forth. Now, like I said, this button here take you straight into the sports, and there's a lot of sports, and I'll show you in the app in a moment. There's a lot of different types of sports. This is just some that are preloaded, but there's even more in the app, so you can go through a lot of different things depending what it is that you're most into. And some people may want to do multiple different ones. That's why the app is good, because you can set them all up to follow whatever it is that you prefer to do. So there you go. I mean, that's a lot. I'm still going through this. There's still a lot in there. So that goes to show you there's a lot of sports in there. Like a normal smartwatch, you can just use your finger to scroll up and down if you don't want to use the buttons on the side. Totally up to you. And then you go back to your normal face on there. And let me take a look at the, let's take a look at the app in a moment. But I was going to show you these bands are very nice, thick silicone band. And here's a look at the back of the watch. There's all the sensors and stuff on there that have to go on your skin. There's to charge it up and so forth. And there you see the buttons, the crown, whatever you want to call them, how they stand out. They're really, nice, and they actually do move and so forth. And they are pretty big. They're like the old-fashioned watches. I mean, I don't want to compare it to a Rolex, but if you know how big Rolexes are, that is exactly what this guy looks like. Nice and big and thick. And this black one is kind of like a gunmetal look. So I don't know how it shows up on the camera and so forth, but there you go, how that looks right there. Very, very nice watch to look at there. Now, if you want to look at the this other band, this is a nice, solid-looking band. Again, like a gunmetal look. and it is stainless steel. And one of the things I like about this band, see, like the old style bands that used to have like this, I had like a love-hate relationship with them, because even though they were nice, you would hit them sometimes and they would flip open on you. This little thing would flip open. Now this guy, they made an improvement to where it doesn't come off on its own. You actually have to click the little buttons on the side here, and that is how you undo it. So that is very cool. See how it has a little notch there? And these guys actually have to click to open. So that is an improvement over the old-fashioned metal bands that would flip open just because you hit it the wrong way. So this one locks in place, and then you're all set. There, it cannot come undone. So it's a good solid band that you can't just undo by accident, just by hitting it sideways. So that's very cool right there. Now let's take a look at the app for a moment. All right, so then let's take a little closer look at the app and see all the different things that it can do for you. So when you turn on the app, you start off right here at the front page. This is the home page right here. And you see that you have 4 standard things set up on there: your heart rate, sleep record, your blood pressure, blood oxygen level, etc. And you can customize it with that little green bubble there at the bottom. You can add a few more things to it if you wanted to do that. So there you have, that'll give you a real quick update as to everything that's been going on that you have set up there and you're tracking. Now, on the sport mode, if you go to the sport mode, you see that you have up at the top, you have a few things that you can choose from. But the first thing to see is right there where you have like outdoor running or outdoor activities, you can set up a route that you want to follow, and you can change it anytime you want. And it'll basically track for you as far as your records, how you're doing when you're going through that route, how fast are you doing it, all the different updates, all the different information that it does for you. And you can keep track as, if you're doing better, doing worse, whatever it is that you're doing. But the good thing is that on the Google Maps, it will set up a route for you and tell you how it is that you performed throughout your route. But there you see right there, you have outdoor running, outdoor cycling, your jump rope, badminton, and then you have quite a few more that you can add to it. Look at that. Look at that huge list of sports that you can choose from. That is a whole heck of a lot of stuff that you can pick from right there. And you can go through and select whatever sports it is that you're into. And it literally does have like 100 and something sports that you can pick from. So that gives you a lot of customization right there. And going back to the outdoor sports. So there you go. Now, on the device itself, you have quite a few things that you can do on the phone to customize your device, customize your permissions, all that kind of good stuff. Now, on the watch faces, it does have a lot. And there you go. It has a couple hundred, and it takes a long time to load it. I went through and I preloaded it, but you see it still has to reload it again. But there are a lot of different faces on there. And depending on your Wi-Fi or your network and stuff like that, it may take a little longer or not very long at all. Depends. But there are quite a few different watch faces for you to download there. So I'm not going to go through and download every single one of them. But you see right there, you have a lot of faces for a lot of customizations. Like it says, a couple of hundred different ones. But you can select in your watch face, whatever it is that you want, and then you can customize it and pick the one you want. That one is just randomly there. But you can upload your own, whether it's a picture of your kids, your family, your car, whatever it is that you like to see on your watch face, you can put whatever it is on there. So there you go, back to the dial center. And like I said, you can pick and choose whatever it is you want. You can change it seasonally. You can do whatever you want to do. So you go back to there, and then for you can customize and set up your account however it is you want to do it and have it more customized so you can keep track of all the different things that you need to do. The whole purpose of the account is so you can keep track of all your sports stuff and so forth, so that way you know exactly how everything is going for you. Your physiological cycle, your weekly goals, training plans, all that kind of good stuff. Set up the unions with a metric, imperial, all that kind of stuff. So there you go. That shows you all the different things you can do with this guy, and it has quite a lot of customization, quite a lot of flexibility, and quite a lot of nice features that you can do for setting up your watch. All right, guys, there you see that. Like I said previously, even though the watch is in the rest state, when you flip your wrist over, then it basically goes to whatever watch face you have. There it goes back to the rest mode. You can flip it over, and it'll activate again and go from there. So let's take a look at some of the different things this guy can do. Like I said, you can make a call, heart rate, blood oxygen, all that kind of good stuff, weekly activities, daily activities, etc. Training, all sorts of stuff, sleep mode, all that stuff. I'm not going to go through all those different things. This is your typical smartwatch. If you're used to a smartwatch, you know all the things that it has on there, and I showed you previously. Now, let's see some of the things that it can do. Like, for example, let's go into heart rate. And there you go. Let's see what it can do as far as checking that. And there you go. It's checking my heart rate. And you can do this anytime throughout the day if you want to keep track of your heart rate and so forth. It'll do that for you, and it'll let you know real quick what's going on. So at least it shows your heart rate. It shows you that I'm alive, and at least I'm not an AI, right? So there you go. At least I'm a human being with a normal working heart. And we're still checking on that, and it'll just show you what that is. Let's see, blood oxygen. Let's check that out right there. And see, it's measuring now. Let's see what the blood oxygen level is. And there you go, 97% blood oxygen. So at least I'm not dead. I'm still doing pretty good, almost 100%. So I guess my blood is fairly good, fairly active in normal blood. Let's see what else. Blood pressure. Let's check that out. Now, since I'm kind of in a weird, twisted position here, holding it for the camera and so forth, I'm sure it might be a little bit odd, out of the ordinary, but that's nothing to be concerned about. And I'm talking and moving and stuff at the same time. But at least it'll check your blood pressure for you anytime you like throughout the day. And you should be probably sitting down in a comfortable position and so forth so you can get a good reading on this. Otherwise, if you're moving around and stuff like that, you're going to get an improper reading. Blood pressure is one of those tricky things. If you do it often enough, you know exactly what's the best way to do it. But it is one of those tricky things that you can get false readings by just the slightest movement or the slightest thing being off. There you go. 127/81, there you go. And you can start measuring it again if you want. And that way it'll keep track for you if you're high, you're low, whatever it is. And then it goes back to rest mode every time. So you can check in and see throughout the day and see what it is that you want to do. Sleep mode we haven't done. The weather, yeah, there you go. It gives you the weather right away and it tells you exactly what's going on. And the highs, the lows, all that kind of good stuff. Music, if I wanted to play music or messages, breath rate, I'm not going to go through all that kind of stuff. SOS is really good if you find yourself in a weird situation and you want to get out of there, considering the way things are these days with a lot of strange people out on the streets. The SOS may come in quite handy, where you can literally just touch your wrist and hit that button right there, and nobody needs to know what's going on. So that is a real quick way to call for help if you're ever in trouble. And there is your typical analog watch right there, which is really quite attractive. And if you like analog watches, this is the way they used to be in the old days. And it's a very attractive way. I used to love those watches, but they were quite expensive back in the old days. This is a lot cheaper now than what they used to be. And you see right there, you can go through all the different things on there and so forth. So very nice watch. I'm very happy my daughter got this watch for me, because I had the other one, which was just a plain ordinary smartwatch. But this is a heck of a lot nicer, much nicer. Very thick, beefy watch on your hand. As you can see right there, has a nice thick look to it, and it feels very solid and elegant on your hand. And if you want to have a silver one, you can go ahead and get that one as well, if it's something that you'll like a little bit better. And you can just flip it if you want to have it turn on. You don't have to do that. I just did it for demonstration purposes. But if you want to have it turn off, it'll just go to a black screen and it'll save the battery. Because if you have it on like this all the time, it will consume the battery more. This way, it doesn't do it as much. So this is a bit wasteful. But if you want your battery to last longer, you don't need to do that. So there you go, guys. A really nice watch that I got from my daughter for Father's Day. I really love it. I think it's a really nice watch, and I'll start using this guy instead of the other one that I already have. And that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. If you're looking for a very nice, modern, retro-looking watch that looks like the old watches from the old days that were nice and big and beefy, and it's very elegant to wear on your wrist, but you want to have all the features of a nice modern watch, this is a good way to go, and it's not very expensive at all. You would think it would cost you more, but for about $40, that is what a normal digital Casio watch or something like that would probably cost you. So this is a very nice, elegant watch, and I look forward to using it. I may switch the bands at some point, but right now, during the summer, it's kind of warm, so I'll probably stick with the silicone instead of the metal, but I think this is a very good way to go for right now. So there you go, guys. I'll put the link down to everything down below so you can check out all the information and see if it's a watch you want to look into. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye for now.